Welcome back, the dopest show you won't get sick of. I'm Spencer, this is Sasha. I spent most of my 20s in federal prison, but I've been off heroin since April 9, 2010. Got a lot of stories about the stupid stuff I did to get put in prison. I've also got a lot of crazy stories about the stuff that happened while I was in prison. And God forbid you end up in prison, I want to make some of the same mistakes I made. So before I start, Maria Fennell, Michael Franklin reached out to me and he wanted me to tell you happy birthday. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. Maria Fennell. I'm hoping to God I'm saying that name right. Sometimes I get them wrong. Sometimes I get them right. But Michael Franklin reached out, said, it'd be something special if I said something. That blows my mind, that me saying something to somebody actually means something. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Also, for the junkie with the monkey fun, in the comments, see, some of these show up. I'm going to talk about this more at the end, but being case, thank you so much. And also, into heat 451, thank you so much. I can't pin two comments, so I was in a dilemma. So I just left them as they were because it wouldn't be fair to pin one, not pin the other. And also, Judo 101. In my little thing, I'll talk about that more at the end. But anyway, this ends in a prison marriage story. Judo 101, I have to say this first. Donate something too. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. It said randori time, which that's like kind of like fight time in judo. It means sparring in it. But anyway, so this story is a completely wild one. It takes place right when I was getting ready to get out of prison. So it's a low security. I had a lot of jiu-jitsu magazines sent in, and a couple of us would work the techniques in the magazines. And ultimately, there was this guy, Pimpson, okay? Pimpson apparently was the son of a pimp that was famous in Atlanta. Like, people knew who he was, and apparently his dad was some type big man. And his dad actually named him Pimpson because he's the son of a pimp. He was a goofy fella, man, light-skinned fella. He was a cool dude. He had all these little one-liners. Like, how pimps have, like, all these, these, like, like all those stuff in the movie. Like, he had these one-liners like that. And he'd been in all kinds of wild stuff. But anyway, he was doing federal prison time, and cool dude. I liked him, okay? He was a good guy. Everybody liked him, got along with him. You couldn't not like the kid. I mean, he's a good dude. So, being that I was the person, there's a couple of us that trained and stuff, there were a number of times that just, you end up, guys, roughhouse, okay? Wrestle, slap box, whatever. My buddy Pinto, Angel Ortiz, I want to talk about him more at the end too. He's about twice my size, and I'd just be sitting there reading a book. He'd slap the book, and he'd go, "Oh, what, you think you're tough guy?" And then he'd jump on. Next thing I know, we're tussling, got him in a clinch, we're throwing knees and stuff. But that type of stuff happens, It's all in good fun, but rule number 7 is don't play. Because that type of roughhouse can lead to fights, can lead to many things. I talked in the other day about the blood leader in Wood, and about him, I don't know if that, it started out playing, then, got angry, then somebody took a threat, somebody got a broken nose. Playing can lead to bad stuff. So ultimately what ends up happening is this dude Pimpson comes in, and he starts, people like try you, like, it's stuff, it's something you shouldn't do, but like he's tried something, and I got him in a hold. I threw him down to the ground. I got him in back control with the seatbelt. That's one arm over the shoulder. Basically, it looks like a seatbelt grip on you. And he's thrashing. Okay, now I want you to think about something. When people are breaking horses, wild horses, they get on the horse, and they keep riding the horse until the horse basically expends its energy and says, "Screw it. I ain't going to get this person off of me. Whatever." Okay, whenever you're in a live situation with grappling and you know how to grapple, it's the same thing. Breaking people. You only have so many explosive movements in you before you gas out. See, in grappling, it's small movements. You're not if you go against a black belt and you've never trained before, they are literally toying with you. They will not even be breathing hard a bit. I'm talking about jiu-jitsu or judo black belt. They won't be breathing hard a bit. And you'll feel like you're literally, like your lungs are going to just burn from the inside out. That's the type of thing it is. It's like, just making sure your movements are all valid and they're not explosive. But when a person's being explosive and you've got them under control, they're going to wear out quick. So I was waiting for that, and he does this crazy bridge, and then he goes, ah, ah, ah. And I get, oh, whoa, 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 you okay, dude? And he said, my back, and something's popped, something's hurt. Oh no, I am 1 week from going home. 1 week from going home. I did the RDAP drug program. It's a drug program. I did it at the medium security. It took a year off my sentence, gave me 6 months halfway house, basically ultimately taking a year and a half off my sentence. If I get in any sort of trouble, which this would be considered a 1 or 200 series shot. Shots are basically institutional charges. So you get commissary, stuff like that taken usually. But if you get a 1 or 200 series shot after you've done the drug program, they take your year back. They take your year away. Oh, it's just my hair shining. I thought I had something in it. Sorry, I got ADD and OCD and all other kinds of ABCs. So basically, if a CO comes back, sees him on the ground, and puts 2 and 2 together to put me in the hole, I'm gonna have to spend another year and a half in prison, probably back at the medium. Okay, this is a big thing. So I get him sitting down, calm down. He's messed up, and I'm like, come on, dude. You're gonna be all right. I said, I'll take care. Just stay in the cell. And I gave him food and stuff. Told him don't try to go to the kitchen. And he's like, it's all good, man. It's all good. Like, he wasn't mad at me. He knew it was just an accident. We were playing. I'm still shook. I've got a week left. He's messed up. I feel bad about it. I feel awful about it. He kind of initiated it. Things happen. It wasn't really, and it's just something, he tried to bridge like crazy, and something must have popped. Okay? So he sleeps on the top bunk too. So that's another thing. Got him back to the room. I was able to talk to his cell. He tell me he's hurt. Look after him. There's this guy who's nosy, and there's something about this guy that I found out from my buddy Fox. This guy who I'm talking about here is jacked. He's probably about 210 pounds of muscle at about 5'9". Did steroids on the street. Had conversations about working out. This dude, you see bodybuilder. This dude looks like a bodybuilder, but he's always on the phone. You only get 300 minutes on the phone a month, and you got to pay for those minutes. He always seemed like he was on the phone past what minutes he should have. And there was something I learned about him years before. During my first 6 months of low, my buddy Fox came back to me one day, and he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. They called him the lieutenant's office. You get called the lieutenant's office when you get in trouble. They sat down and they told him, listen, we have inmates that we pay to be informants. We pay you this much a month. It was like $100 a month, and you got to give us so many tips about either wine or fights or whatever that's going on. And he's like, why would you pick me for? No, I'm not doing it. But before he said that, they said that this guy, Mr. Muscles, Mr. Muscles said, you Fox said you'd be a good person for this, because if you're in the mix, everybody knows you, has certain benefits, could get you out of trouble at certain points. And he told him, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in that. And he came back and told me, at the shocked look on his face. Okay, imagine if somebody in the unit has got a reputation for being big, bad, and tough. You know what I mean? Never saw him get in a fight. He could lift weight though. Couldn't deadlift. I could deadlift a lot more than him. He could bench press more than he could deadlift. He could bench press probably about twice as much as he could squat. Little legs. You would never see him ever wearing a pair of shorts. Sweatpants, even if it was 100 degrees, you'd never see him wearing shorts. One of them Johnny Bravo prison bills, but he did it outside. He's on roids and stuff. But even on roids, people like they've got to work to get like that. I thought about doing them, but never. I'm such a recluse. I wouldn't know who to get them from. I'm about 175 pounds right now. I'm strong for my weight, but I'm small bone structured. I ain't never done them, but I can't lie. I thought about it, but even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know who to get it from. But anyhow, that's a separate topic. He is just like a big giant man, and to find this information out tripped me out. But it also made me start watching him, and I noticed, the phones at the low security were unique. The glass phone booths that you see in New York, the glass phone booths? Downstairs they have a glass phone booth that you stand in. The window's busted at the back of it. I'm sure people made knives and everything else with it, or hard to tell what happened. There's a phone next to it which you sit down to use, but that phone, it's actually got a door that slides open. Well, upstairs at the top, the layout of the low security, you walk in, it's about 10 foot wide. of a little hallway. There's 3 computers, 3 desks on each side to email, MP3 player. There's 2 doors at the back that lead to 2 TV rooms, 2 TVs in each. Then there's 2 hallways open up to a dormitory setting with cubicle style things. As soon as you go in, you go to the right. As soon as you enter the building, there's a door. You open that door. You walk up the stairs, it's an open TV room. At the back, there's another TV room through a door. There's 2 more hallways, 2 more. So there's 4 quadrants, okay? I'm trying to give you a basic look. It's a regular building. It's not an open pod. There's 0 cameras anywhere at the low security. That's why there were more fights at the low security, because there weren't cameras. I swear, there were a lot more fights. The level of violence was much less. It was just fist fights, but there were a lot more. And also let people play around, roughhouse, make food, like, fry stuff and everything else. People get lard and fry stuff with stingers. That's a whole other story. But basically, because this layout. So at the top of this stairs, there's an open TV room. Usually about 20, 30 people sit there. But in the corner, right at the top of the stairs where the railing is, there's a phone booth, glass phone booth. And you'd see him, and there's like this little desk thing in it, and you'd see him hunkered over on the desk, and it looked like he was talking real quiet. I'm wondering if he was on a hotline to these people talking to him, and it really got me watching him extra carefully, because I'm like, man, Fox wouldn't, he would never, I mean, this was my best friend. He wasn't somebody at BS, and I trust him 100% on this. Maybe he got more minutes for telling on people, but he came up to me and he goes, "What'd you do to that boy?" I said, "Nothing. He fell down, he hurt himself, I feel bad, I'm trying." You did something to him. So over the next, I'm freaking out because I know I could lose 18 months of my life. I end up going and talking to him, and I'm like, "Dude, what can I do for you, man?" "No, you didn't mean to do it." And I keep bringing him stuff anyway, food and extra stuff, so he doesn't try to go to the kitchen. The next day I tell him, "Just stay here. I'll fix your food. I'll make good food. I'll fix your food. Just don't get out of the bed." Because if Mr. Muscles told, "Yeah, Spencer did it," they could put me in the hole. Put me under investigation, take away my year, everything could be lost. So I'm wanting this guy to just be quiet. I feel bad about what happened, but this is about me getting out of prison, okay? Sometimes you got to be a little selfish. This is 18 months of my freaking life, okay? I could be back at the medium. That place is So I keep telling him there, but he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that. He's got it in his head that he's going to sue the prison. He told the people when he told the CO what happened to him, and he insists on going to medical, he told him he fell off the top bunk. So he goes to medical, and he said he's going to sue the prison. I'm like, "You're not going to successfully sue the prison, man. You know how many people fall off the top bunk?" But he had it in his head. He was going to do that. And I tell him, "Here, just stay here." So I trusted he's going to stay there. It's the next day. It's about 9 a.m. I hear they call it the deuces. The deuces, it's just on their walkie-talkie, they got a button. They press, and wherever that is, all guards, they shut everything. They say, "Lock down, lock down." You've got to go in the closest building. If you're close to medical, you got to go in medical. They lock the door. If you're at education, they lock the door. Everything's locked down. They make you get in the building quick, and then they go to the place. They did that. Well, there's no rooms. It's cubicles. At the low security, you're never locked in. When my first 6 months, when I drank the tomato wine, I'd be up at 3 a.m. making fried rice drunk on tomato wine. Did that the first 6 months. Last 4.5 years, I didn't drink at all. But anyway, I look at the window, and sure enough, there he is. He fell out on the ground on purpose. On purpose. They got this golf cart that they have that they drive for medical, load him up on this golf cart, take him to medical. He comes back, I'm like, "Dude, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to sue these people." I'm like, "Dude, please just chill out." And the guy comes over, the big Mr. Muscles is like 2 cubicles down. Now, on this side of the building, most parts of the building, the other 3 quadrants, the cubicles are 7 foot high. On this particular side, on this quadrant, is the only quadrant that has 3 offices. One for the counselor, one for the case manager, one for the guard. Okay, so we got to watch out what we're saying, and the cubicles are all only 4 foot high. So you can see over top and hear a whole lot easier. And Mr. Muscle standing there listening to me talk. Why am I so interested in helping him out when he just fell off the bunk supposedly? And he keeps questioning. I said, nothing happened. Man, let it go. Nothing happened. I said, I feel bad for the dude. I was there. He hurt himself. He's not letting it go. I'm like, "Oh, Jesus, please, God, please, God." And I keep worrying that Mr. Muscles is going to interrogate him until he tells him, and then he can tell on me and give that one of his bits of information that he's getting paid for or whatever. Okay, so I'm freaked out. I'm freaked all the way out. And this continues. So I end up thinking, I got to do something extra nice for this dude. I feel bad about it anyway, but I got to do something epic that will keep him, make him like almost loyal to me. So I said, you said you got a girl, right? And he said, yeah. I said, my mom's she got a jewelry shop. I said, let me get you a ring. No, you don't got to do that. You don't got to do it. No, let me get you a ring to give her. He's like, could it be an engagement ring? And I'm like, yeah, get an engagement ring. I call my mom. I tell my mom, I need you to come visit me. Now, she comes and visits me. I can't talk about this over the phone. It's because they're listening and stuff. And she comes to visit. I tell her the whole situation. I'm like, I need to do something. And my mom could tell you about this. I was scared to death. My last 7 days. You should just be cruising through everything else. And nobody knew I was getting out except for about 2 or 3 people. I ended up having to tell him, I said, just be cool till I get out of here, please, man. And so I had my mom talk to his fiance, and get her a ring, a little $200-300 ring. And I figured, okay, this will have him good in there with me. I'll be good. I'll be cool. Apparently, my mom had a long conversation with his fiance. She's like, well, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, does he really love all this? But this really solidifies it. I really believe it now. So that got him good with her. Everything else, I'm just clenching my butt cheeks, thinking, my God, every bit white knuckling it, thinking, is Mr. Muscle's going to go tell on me? He is staying on top of it, and he keeps going over there interrogating. Like he's trying to get him to admit it and everything else. And I'm just like, oh, Lord. He fell out probably another 2 times during the course of that week. Ultimately, I got out. Nobody found out, but it made my last week in prison absolutely miserable. And I found out through friends afterwards that after I was already in the halfway house, that with that engagement ring, they had a prison marriage. They do marriages at the prison. You got to talk to the counselor. You got to pay for it. They do it in the visiting room. You don't get to consummate it. You don't get to do no whoop whoop, none of that. But you do it up there. They take pictures, this, that. You give a few $100, have to set it up. It has to be a person on your visiting list. They got married. So it ended in a prison marriage. I don't know if they're still together today. I hope it all worked out well with them. Y'all nasty people thought it was going to be some type of crazy stuff, didn't you? You guys saw ends in a prison marriage. You thought something like Flamin' Raymond got somebody or something, didn't you? Nah, this one was a happy ending. There wasn't no wasn't nobody taking it up the tailpipe or nothing like that in this one. But it ended up in a prison marriage. So anyway, that was they got married in the visiting room from what I heard about it. But it was a terrible, terrible last week because this guy I'm talking about, Mr. Muscles, after Fox had told me about that and I'd watched him and I really believed, got more stories about that, but there's too much stuff that I can put all together that makes me not trust that guy. And he seemed like he was trying to get me on this one. And yeah. So anyway, one more time. Maria Fennell, I hope you have a wonderful birthday with Michael Franklin. And also Ben Case and Into Heat 451. Thank you. When you guys donate, okay, and you donate where I can see it in the comment section, I'm always going to get on here and say thank you, every time. I never ask for anything, but if you put it on there, I'm going to thank you for it, all right? And Judo 101, okay, I saw that. I've got this YouTube creators thing. It's supposed to show all the donations, but it's only got 3 of them on there. And it shows me in the videos. I did a video like 2 days ago. It shows like $25 that was donated, but I can't see who did it. So if you do it, if you could do it in the comment section, how they do it, I don't even know how it works. I mean, I'm technologically challenged. That's just a nice way for saying I'm stupid when it comes to technology. And I want to thank everybody that does something. I mean, I truly do. And what I'm going to tell you, though, is with this, Ben Case, Into Heat 451, and Judo 101, that money, Junkie with the Monkey Fund, I'm going to get Sasha to go see some monkeys. We got a pet rat named Whitey Bulger. Get it? Because Whitey Bulger was a rat. He's the sweetest little thing, and Sasha likes him. She licks him. She's fascinated with him. It's like she goes to the zoo when she looks at him. So have to get her around and see how that works. But ultimately, what is going to happen in the more immediate future, once I confirm that I'm off probation, I hate that I haven't talked to him yet because I had somebody track him down get his number, and I think he's expecting me to call for the last couple months, but I couldn't talk to felons because I'm on probation. I had some issues come up where I had to quit talking to anybody that was a felon, and I'm still not going to see the paperwork. But Pinto, Angel Ortiz, at 23 years old, he got caught with $1.2 million in cash, $700,000 in the bank. He had 2 blocks that were called $1 million blocks. They're blocks that sold like $1 million worth of dope in so much time. Not glorifying that, but he's got a crazy story. He was making so much money, he was having to pay taxes to the the mob in Philly and stuff like that. What I'm ultimately going to do, with some of this money, is I'm going to give him some money to travel, to come here, some money to take in his pocket, and I'm going to try to get him set up so he can have his own YouTube. He's got enough stories too, and he's a funny dude. People are funny. You got to do it in a certain way, a presentation in a way, but telling it, I'm going to try to get him set up, get him worked up, send him off with a few bucks, and probably sit down and talk for, probably about, I don't know, we'll probably talk for like 6-7 hours. That'll be enough to make probably 10 videos, over 7 hours. I figured 40-minute videos, talk about different things, stuff about when we were in prison, stuff from before he was in prison. It'll make some good stuff. It'll make some great stuff. This dude is the best. He's like my brother. Okay, and he could tell you, I did 2 years at the Medium. They was trying to get me to get him in all kinds of trouble. So when I came back, the Boricuas, the Puerto Ricans, I was good with all the Puerto Ricans because he's high status in the Puerto Ricans in there in Petersburg Low. He ran tickets, everything else. The dude is incredibly intelligent. Okay, he got hit with the hammer. 23 years old. Got 15 years in prison. He only got a few years for the dope. They gave him a corruption charge for paying off 4 police officers and like politician and a judge. Okay, guess what the police officers got? They got probation. These police officers went in their 30s and 40s. They knew better, but they hit this 23-year-old kid with 15 years. They told him they were going to make an example of him. Tell me how that works, how messed up that was. Originally, they were going to try to get him with RICO charges, but he's got a load of stories. I'm glad he's out living his life. I'm very excited about getting to talk to him here soon. Got to make sure that the probation stuff is all clear. I'm not getting myself not getting me in any kind of way, because I'm doing everything by the book, everything correct. But that's something that I'm really looking forward to. As soon as I hear this is off, give him a good handful of money. His donation go to that. And, hopefully get him set up. He's got enough stories where he could get on here and do this too. He's got some stories, my Lord. He had a crooked DEA agent posing, not a crooked DEA agent. He had a DEA agent posing as a crooked banker that became friends with him, that laundered $700,000 of his money. And that's how he ended up getting caught. They sent an undercover person to do like a 9-month sting on him, okay? He was one of the top people in his little area of Philly. So he's got some stories, that's my point. Plan on getting it in, and look forward to seeing my friend. And other friends too, There's my buddy Kevin Crockett and other people. I've sectioned myself off away from the world, pretty much just lived a life of training obsessively and not doing anything else. Okay, this has been the most social I've been in years, doing this YouTube thing. Also, sorry if I sound kind of, I've got an earplug in my ear. I woke up the other morning deaf in my right ear. I've been really sick. I've kept it together for this. Use a bunch of nose spray, blow my nose before I do these videos. I've been terribly sick this week, and it's about fizzled out now. It's been a few days, and but I guess from the backup, my right ear, I can hear a little bit through it, but like if I don't have this earplug in while I'm talking, I feel like I'm gonna fall over. So if you liked the video, if you've watched it, especially up until this point, and Maria Fennell one more time from Michael Franklin, you guys have a wonderful day. Being Case, Into Heat 451, and Judo 101, thank you for the Junkie with the Monkey donations. If you liked it, you watched it this far, press the like button. If not, that is 24 minutes and 13 seconds of your life in which you'll never ever get back. But I truly hope you did. Sasha knows it's time to get out of here, so y'all have a good one.